Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I finally have in my midst the new Mini Rose palette from Natasha Denona. It's finally arrived here in the UK and so I'm ready to share my thoughts and try this out on the eyes for the first time with you. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the Mini Rose palette from Natasha Denona. It will set you back £24 or $27 and it features soft pink, medium lilac and dark taupe creamy mattes alongside a rose duochrome with a gold shift and a crystal baby pink sparkling foiled eyeshadow. So there are 5 shades in here and all 5 are not brand new shades for Natasha Denona. They have all appeared in previous palettes. So we have Golden Rose, which is the beautiful duochrome shade. That is already in the purple blue super large eyeshadow palette, as well as one of the 5 pans, number 8. Opart and Andy, which are 2 of the mattes in the palette, as well as Psychedelic, which is that crystal shade. All 3 of those come from the Retro Midi palette. And then Flamingo, which is the sort of light creamy matte shade, that comes from the large green brown palette, as well as the number 13 5 pan. So all existing shadows, but unless you have the retro palette, they're kind of spread all over the place. So I only have the retro palette, so I have 2 new shades in here that I don't already own. Out of those that I've listed are the only palette that I have. So I have 3 of these shades, but obviously this is a lot more travel friendly than a midi size Natasha Denona palette. So I do like these 5 pans for that reason. Even if I do have some of the shades in other palettes, I like having these because they're just perfect for travel. I wouldn't risk taking a large expensive eyeshadow palette with me when I travel. I like to pack very lightly when it comes to makeup, and so these are just perfect for travel for me. And this looks so cohesive. It looks like right up my street as far as the color story, something I will wear and use a lot. So for me, this was a no-brainer. I thought it was so beautiful and pretty and exactly the kind of shadows that I like, so I was excited to grab it, even though I had a few of these shadows in my retro midi palette. So let's have a look at some swatches. Here she is, nice and close up, absolutely glorious. And let's have a look at these swatches. These are sort of a decent swirl in each pan on bare skin, one swipe, and there you have all 5 of the shades. This duochrome is calling my name and I'm very excited because I don't own this shade and it looks stunning. But overall this looks like the perfect little quint. You guys know how much I love to say that word. So one question that I did have was whether the new Mini Rose was very similar to one of the previous 5 pan or mini palettes from Natasha Denona, the Mini Starlit. So here they are next to each other. We have Mini Starlit at the top and Mini Rose on the bottom. So they are kind of a similar color story, I would say. They both are a sort of pinky rose color story on the eyes, but the new Mini Rose does have a duochrome, which we don't have in Mini Starlit, and it's definitely not a dupe in my opinion. Here they are swatched side by side. I definitely think, you know, that they are a similar color story, but they're not identical, and I do think that duochrome in the new Mini Rose palette is kind of just amps things up a little bit and makes it slightly more exciting and interesting than the Mini Starlit, which is undoubtedly quite a sort of common color story that we've seen many times. Okay, so that is all of the info on this new little mini palette from Natasha Denona. Let's jump into a demo and see how it looks on the eyes. I had to be very careful, given that I've got the 2 minis on my desk in front of me, that I actually used the correct one because my brain is so befuddled. We're like a week into the summer holidays here and my brain is all over the place. I've no idea what day it is. And add to that this morning, the additional trauma of dropping my children off at their first summer camp of the year. And if you were here this time last year, the last summer camp was not good. So if you want to hear about what happened, I will link the video up here somewhere. But it was a very traumatic experience at their last summer camp last year. And so I'm feeling very stressed. Makeup therapy is needed today. It was very hard dropping them off this morning, but we did it. I burst into tears as we were walking out, so everyone, all the other parents think I'm a Looney Tune. But what's new, you know? And we're going to do some makeup therapy today and everything is going to feel fine. My chair is determined to wheel away. It's trying to wheel me out the room. Don't know what that's trying to tell me. Okay, so we're going to start off with Andy to give him his formal name here. Perfect pan size for this brush. This is my Sonia G T6, and I'm just going to start off with a nice light wash of this all in the crease. This just looks like such a perfect look in a palette for me, the exact type of makeup and colours that I love and everything that I need. You know, it's got a few mattes, it's got a nice inner corner matte, it's got a beautiful brow arch highlight shade for me, it's got a couple of beautiful transitional mattes and some gorgeous shimmers. So I really like that it's really cohesive. It's got everything I could need. I'm not going to need to reach for another palette to use it. And I definitely feel like you could do easily a sort of daytime look with this and a more impactful, smokier, over the top look with it. I do like a quint that can do it all. You know, that just tickles my pickle. It floats my boat. What can I say? Of course, this creamy matte is blending like an absolute dream. No surprises there. I love Natasha's formulas, particularly her mattes. They potentially are my favourite mattes ever of any brand. They never disappoint. So I'm switching over to my T5 and I'm going to go into Opart, which is this rich smoky brown shade. And this is one, you know, you could really use a lot of this and get a really smoky look if you so desire, or you can use it lightly with a sort of fluffier, sparser brush like I'm doing, and it's just going to sort of neutralize everything a little bit, stop it being too pink, because I like smokier pinks and plums and roses, but I don't like pink. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I always tell people I don't like pink, and then people get confused because I have like a certain pink that I like. I don't like Barbie pink on eyes, lips or cheeks, but I like sort of dusky roses, mauves, those sort of muted pinks. I don't know if this makes sense, but I should be less damning in my pinks because I know it's confusing because I just say I don't like pink and then I use a lot of pink. What's she talking about? But there's specific pinks. There's pinks and there's pinks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you do. Not many people do, but you know, can't be helped. I'm just sort of building this brown matte into the sort of outer V there, and I really like the combo of those two mattes. That really is such a perfect neutral, but a hint of that lilac still. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And I'm also going to use my Sonia T3 and I'm going to kind of do a boop and a boop. A boop, the snoot. And that's going under that lower lash line. Hide the eye bags, hide the tears. Perfect. And now for the exciting part. I'm going to use my Sonia T2 and that duochrome. What's she called? Golden Rose. Remember the names. Okay. And I'm going to go quite heavily. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, I love this kind of shade. This reminds me very much of the original Divine Rose palette from Pat McGrath. This is a shade that would absolutely slot beautifully into that palette. One of my favourite palettes of all time. This is such a romantic, pretty shade. I almost feel like this should and could have been like a Valentine's release without being like so unnecessarily pink like a lot of Valentine's releases are. I have heard on the grapevine that we are getting a Mini Rose palette later on this year, maybe the holiday release. I've heard this on the grapevine. Apparently a copyright name has been filed for that palette, so we should be seeing that later on this year, and I cannot wait for that because that will be right up my street, I just know it. Okay, I'm then going to use my Rephr 21 and this crystal shade, Psychedelic. This is one of my absolute favourite shades from that Midi Retro palette, and I'm gonna focus this at the front of my lid. There, beautiful. I will say I did my eyes last today because I was filming, and I'm starting to like doing that when I'm filming new eyeshadow palettes because I want to be able to see the fallout more clearly. And there may be a little, I'm using, you know, dry brushes, I'm not using a finger. There are some, you know, very sparkly shadows in here. I haven't yet felt a single fleck of glitter fall on my cheeks. And sometimes, you know what that can be like. It feels like it's raining. I'm not feeling any rain. I'm not feeling anything. But when I'm finished, I will have a very close-up investigation to see if I can see a single fleck anywhere. Now we're going to my Sonia G Builder S and into that final Flamingo matte, and I'm just going to use this. Ooh, brush picked up a lot on the right on the inner corner there. Brighten this up. I love doing this with a matte shadow. I feel like it can be a lot more flattering than, and a lot more natural, I guess, than a shimmer. And I'm also going to run that under the brow arch. I haven't done that for a long time, you know. It's the sort of thing that I skip out on because I'm lazy, but it does really lift your brow. So maybe I need to start doing it more often. Okay, so I did just have a close-up goosey gander in the mirror, and there's definitely a small amount of fallout. Nothing dramatic, nothing life-ruining, and if I had done my eyes last, a very easy dust away. So that is good. Definitely not overly dramatic on the fallout front. I'm just going to do some mascara with the Benefit Roller Lash. Okay, and here is the finished look. It's so pretty. Absolutely exactly what I was hoping for. Just the easiest, prettiest look. You don't have to think. It's perfect for beginners, or if like me, you're missing like an artistic gene and you don't really know how to put combos together. This is just going to do the work for you. It's going to tell you exactly what shades go together and how to wear and to put them and what to do with them, and just the easiest everyday soft glam pretty gorgeous eyeshadow look. Easy as pie, perfect for travel. There you go. Okay, so as you could probably tell, I think this palette is gorgeous. It's just so pretty. Is it very, very different to anything else I have in my collection? No, but is it very wearable? Do I really love the formulas? Is it very, very easy to work with and come up with a really pretty look that I could wear every single day for every occasion in a color story that I just love and I feel like really flatters me? Yes, yes, yes. All of the things. I don't think you necessarily need this as a must buy. It's something that you don't have, or it's something you've never seen before. So it's a very easily skippable palette, I think. But if you're drawn to this color story and you like the shades in here like I do myself, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think it just does exactly what you would expect and want it to be and do. I think it's maybe slightly less wow factor as far as the shimmers than I maybe was expecting. It's maybe not as intense and as sparkly and shimmery and over the top as I might have expected, but it is a very soft, pretty, perfectly soft glam little palette, very easy to use and work with. And like I said, all of the thinking work taken away for you, which I love, especially on a day when I'm completely bamboozled of the brain. So there you have it. Those are all of my thoughts on this new Mini Rose palette from Natasha Denona. It's absolutely a win for me. I know I'll use this a lot and it will always be traveling with me whenever I go on a trip. I'm about to go on a trip to visit family, and this will 100% be coming with me because it's going to be easygoing and perfect for every day and occasion. And it's just the perfect little travel size. I can take like 5 of these palettes from Natasha Denona and it really take up like no space. So I love how they stack and travel so nicely. I do wish they had a mirror though, but you know, it does keep the cost down, I do know. You know, it's apples and pears, horses and courses. Can't have everything, although I wish I could. So there you have it. Please let me know, as ever, what are your thoughts on this little palette? Did you grab it? Is it just too samey for you? Is it not really your thing? Or was it exactly what you've been waiting for? Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye, 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 bye.